What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to show you guys how to beat the 3-3-5 wide run defensive meta by using a couple of different passing concepts that could rely on either a hot route master or a post flag elite. But before we do that, guys, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys hit that notification bell so you're notified every day when I upload here to the Zan Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to check me out playing Madden 20 live, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zan Madden. The link is in the description below, and I do have exclusive sub-only content for my Twitch Prime and Tier 1 subscribers. My Tier 2 subscribers will get my Washington Redskins Hot Route Master offense on top of those sub-tips that go out each and every Friday. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's talk about today's video. The 3-3-5 wide is the most popular run defense out there in the community right now. We're going to basically show it to you here in this video. And it is something that a lot of players are running to stop, dives and stretches and get, a lot of hit sticks on the running back in the backfield. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys a couple of ways, one of which could be used with a TE Apprentice or a hot route master, and the other which relies on a post flag elite to beat this meta. So let's go ahead and take the field here, and I'm going to show you what this defense is. They're basically going to run the 3-3-5 wide, two-man under, spread their defensive line, press their coverage, and back up the middle linebacker to about the safety depth. So you see this 3 across safety depth. And then they take these outside safeties that are in halves and they put them in double spies. And what that effectively does, and I'm going to audible into a dive here out of the single back wing flex close, is this is going to allow for the safeties that are in spies to fly down. Now, I actually can't use her, but this player right here, Warner, he's actually going to be able to fly down as well. Do you see how those safeties basically stop the run? Now, of course, no tackling ability on that safety there. I broke a tackle, was lucky. But you saw that if you were to have an enforcer, that's a free hit stick on the running back right at the line of scrimmage. Fortunately for the offense right there, he broke the tackle. But that's really not the case when you're facing Taylor May, Sean Taylor, and all those enforcers that are in the game. So this is why this is a very, very hard defense to run the ball on, is you just constantly are getting guys that are getting free hits on the running back. Even when you start to run, like stretch calls, for instance, you're going to see those safeties that are going to, try to fly down. You see how we couldn't get to the edge, but also Tart, the safety, was able to get there, and, he would have been the first guy to the ball carrier, and he's not even back to the line of scrimmage at that point. So you have to have ways that you can beat the man coverage. So what we're going to do here is we're going to show you guys a way here. This can be done with a hot route master quarterback, which I know some of you guys are like, oh, another hot route master tip. But you could also use a wide receiver apprentice or a tight end apprentice to get corner routes. Tight end corner routes in this game are shorter. So if you use a hot route master and hot route a tight end to a short corner, or use a tight end apprentice that gets extra routes and can get those corners, these are going to break really quickly and sharply. Now, let's go ahead and contrast those with the depth of a regular wide receiver corner. See how not only is the wide receiver in this formation on the line of scrimmage, but they also run the route deeper and basically are able to get extra yardage on their cut. But the tight end route, the timing of these routes is so important because they get these really smooth cuts to the outside. Now, you want to, with a two-man under defense, understand that, safeties are in deep half help over the top. So if they're flying down and you see that they're in spies, that means there's no safety help. So you can go ahead and throw these corner routes to the outside. Now, with the 3-3-5 wide, it's important to remember that the middle linebacker is the one that's responsible for the second option on the opposite side of the nickel corner. So you see that the nickel corner in this example is on the right side. That means that the middle linebacker is responsible for the number 2 receiving option on the backside, because this outside linebacker opposite of the nickel back is rushing. Now, of course, some players will hybridize their coverage and they'll start to do purple zones or, drop them into different, coverages on the outside. You'll be able to pick up on that and key in on those tendencies and attack different areas of the field. But in general, when they run this base setup, this is going to be a way that you can attack them. So you go ahead and make sure that you have a short corner from a tight end going to the outside. That's going to pull the user in their responsibility. If they don't use it, it's wide open. And then, of course, the tight end on the other side, we could go ahead and run like a doubles or a deuce, a deuce close type of formation, and throw these little short corners that get really smooth cuts to the outside. So watch here how Julio Jones, who we do have subbed in as a tight end here in this, I went ahead and converted him to a tight end when I made my wing tight U and wing tight Z ebook. So I'm using that roster file right now to kind of show, in MUT, you get these higher route running tight ends as opposed to in regs where you got a lot of slower tight ends that it's hard to show these in video. I know a lot of you guys play MUT or CFM where you can improve players. So you're going to go ahead and run this, and you're going to notice how they get these really nice cuts to the outside, and you can throw these touch passes. I mean, they just absolutely torch man-to-man coverage when you run it this way. So Now, if I were to go ahead and show this to, for example, if I were to go ahead and audible into the wing flex close, let's go ahead and do that here. Now you've got an example where you've got Ingram against Richard Sherman. Now, in this example, they're not in press coverage. If you were to see right here, right there, I audible him into a corner. For some reason, he kind of glitched into a deeper corner. You don't really want that. You want the short one. So we'll go ahead and show Julio Jones here again on this example. He's going to be able to beat his guy to the outside. You see right here, you just throw that ball to the outside. Super easy to make that throw. Now, of course, if you have, post flag elite on a tight end apprentice, it can be really easy to make those cuts and get extra success on these routes as well. Plus, if, for some reason they recover or, are able to get a two-man interaction on the ball, even though they're in man coverage, you can still get those aggressive catches. So if you have an ability on the tight end, that's really, really good. But those short corners are really good. Another route that's really good is the angle route. The angle route from a hot route master or a tight end apprentice is phenomenal at beating man coverage. So let's say, for instance, you could do something like this. You just run a little angle route. Notice how Julio cooks his man, and you just throw a little pass lead and pick up extra yardage after the catch. So angle routes, that's a little sneaky one you can mix in as well. Now, the next thing I want to show that is phenomenal for this is the post corner. So when you have an outside receiver with either an outside apprentice or use a hot route master, you want to put him on post corner routes, especially if you're noticing that the safety on that side is in some sort of, spy or, whatever. So what I'm going to show you here is that provided you get enough time, you get a receiver that has post flag elite like Hopkins does in this example, he's going to get those cuts and he's going to create really good separation on that second cut. So there's one. Actually, right there, he got jammed up against line of scrimmage. Let me throw it away and run this to the wide side of the field. I'm going to spot the ball a little bit differently here. So let me go ahead and move the ball over. These are routes that I really love to throw because I find that they just very consistently are able to beat man-to-man. So audible into this set here. I'm going to go ahead and motion Hopkins out, put him on a post corner route. I want to say that Hopkins does have post flag elite. I'm pretty sure he does. If he doesn't, we might not see the effects here. But you're going to see right here, he's going to run the route. Gets a nice release. There's one, and then there's two. You saw that he lights up. Now, we took a sack right there, so don't worry about that. But you see how he was like 10 yards open on that. That is what you're looking for out of this interaction. So go ahead and audible into that set again here. I'm going to go ahead and motion him out wide if I can. And we're going to put him on a post flag, or the post corner route. So you're going to see right here. Let me go ahead and make sure that this guy kind of got beat on the press animation. So I'm just going to back him up to play regular depth here in this example. But you're going to notice how here's cut number one and cut number two back to the outside. Now, right there, the safety was there and you're still able to make that catch under the safety. But imagine if that safety is in a spy. So if we were to go ahead and put that safety into a spy right there on Ward, now all of a sudden you're in a spot where there's no help over the top. So we go right back into that set. And again, if you have a wide receiver apprentice, you don't need a hot route master, but you go ahead and motion him out. You put him on this post corner route. I'm going to go ahead and shade over the top here on my coverage. Hopefully he won't press right here. But what you should end up with is you're going to see this first cut, second cut. You see how we're able to, get that catch, and that ends up being a one-play score. So if your opponent is playing this double spy 3-3-5 wide, that is a phenomenal route. Now, the short corners, those can, get kind of muddied up by the fact that somebody could just drop a purple zone. So if I were to go ahead and try a short corner there, you're going to notice that a purple zone is going to be able to kind of impact that throw a little bit. So you see, if I were to go throw that purple zone could animate. Now, I did throw it over the top of it, which was fortunate, but if they have, a safety or a player that is actually got good zone coverage out there, that could be dangerous. That same purple zone, let's say that they're trying to take away those short corners, but still spying on that side, you can go ahead to do the post corner, and that's going to have such a depth on that route that you're going to be able to throw that route very, very easily over the top and get that separation. So if I were to go ahead and put them on that outside post flag, and they're playing a coverage that looks like this, that safety on that outside is still not going to be able to get there, and that purple zone is going to be way too shallow. So you're going to see right here, cut number one, cut number two, throw that ball, rat catch, one play score very, very easily. Now, for those wondering what abilities Tom Brady has, he actually has pass lead elite, I want to say. Those actually really help with leading the post corner upfield, but it can be a little problematic on other routes. So just be a little bit careful with that. I don't personally use pass lead elite on my Michael Vick that I use. He does have hot route master because he has a golden ticket. But you get the same results out of that throw. It's a really, really solid throw that you can make very consistently against man coverage. You guys are going to notice that 3-3-5 wide, this is their main meta. They want to spy those safeties and stop the run. And it's going to make them very weak to the short corners from the tight end. and also the post flags that you can throw. Now, if they also run, you know, outside, so let's say that they were to go ahead and run their defense like so, where they go ahead and put outside players in quarters. This is something else you'll see where they'll basically do a defense like this, and they'll, you know, back it up like so, and they'll run a defense that looks like this. And maybe they even do this, where they purple zone somebody out, and then they're just using the field and hoping for block sheds. You're still going to be able to throw that post corner route. So we'll go ahead and show you what I mean right here. So what I'm going to do here, just to wrap this up, is we'll show you that the post corner does beat outside quarter zones. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to align that quarter over the top of Hopkins. They will hug the route a little bit more tightly, but you can throw that ball underneath of them pretty consistently. So here we go. Show you this. There's cut number 1, cut number 2. Throw a little low ball and click on and make that catch. Pretty easy to do. So you guys have got an answer for all the different hybrids that they're going to run. They're going to run this 2-man under. They're going to spy the safeties and stop the run. Now you know how to beat the purple zones, and you also know how to beat the outside quarters that they'll use if you're really abusing the man coverage on the outside. That's what you're going to see the majority of the time. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys tomorrow with our next edition of 2 passes and 1 run. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.